We are now pleased to announce that we are now having presentation by 13 companies that passed the first screening of the financial innovation category. This year, 16 companies in the financial innovation category participated in the support program offered through the Tokyo Financial Awards. 3 of the award winners have already made a presentation in the ceremony, so the remaining 13 companies will now make a presentations. Before the presentation, we would like to inform you of the contact application form. You can access the contact form for the 3 winners of the financial innovation category and the 13 winners who passed the initial screening via QR code on the screen and URL in the Zoom chat box. So if you are interested in any of the companies after the presentation, please feel free to contact us using this form. You can also download the detailed material of each company from QR code. So this is the timetable for the presentations. There will be in total 13 companies who will make a presentation in the order you see here. So now let's get started with the presentations.
Thank you very much. So let me share my screen. Are you good? Perfect. So, hello, I'm Keith Van Heer, project manager at TrustStamp, joined by my colleague Sandeep Virk, who is an executive vice president. We are happy to be here. Authentication methodologies today are broken. What most methods focus on is device authentication, based on what someone knows or what someone owns. Knowledge like usernames and passwords can be stolen or lost in data breaches. Most businesses and institutions nowadays are authenticating devices, not people. But fraud isn't committed by devices, it's committed by people. Biometrics offer a remedy to this problem. With biometric data, we can verify a person, not a thing. One of the challenges with biometrics is that it's extremely sensitive information and should be handled with extreme caution. For example, the United States government lost the fingerprint identity data of every person with security clearance in the country. The Australian government lost the entire data bank of digital ID information for every citizen and resident in the country. Once your biometric data lasts forever, you cannot change your face. At TrustStamp, we solved this problem. Biometrics can be used for authenticating people and be impervious to improper use. We irreversibly transform biometric data into a tokenized identity. Once the data is transformed, it can never be reverse engineered back to your biometric data. But these tokens can be matched. If I tokenize a facial palm scan now, I can match it against a facial or palm token from yesterday or last year. Combined with robust protection against spoofing, you get all the benefits of biometric authentication with none of the risks of data loss. So what are some benefits of the IT2? Well, namely security and privacy. The IT2 token contains no personal identifiable information. So if it is lost in a breach, it can never be used to extract sensitive data. Also, interoperability. The IT2 can work with biometric data from any source. So it can provide compatibility in a complex multi-input system, such as an airport where different companies may be using biometrics differently. So how would the solution look like? Well, our services are offered via our low-code orchestration layer, which provides a kind of one-stop shop for companies looking to deploy our solutions in any configuration they might like. After receiving a link via text, a customer is prompted to take a secure selfie video, followed by a picture of their ID card front and back. Easy account opening, cashless transactions, security from identity fraud, easier methods of authentication management, and tying identities to digital wallets are all services we offer. Thank you very much for your time. We're very interested to do business here in Tokyo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next company to present is Vroozi. Vroozi, please start your presentation.
All right, I'll share my screen.
Which one?
Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Judd, and I am Senior Director of Product Marketing at Vroozi.
Oh, sure.
Today, I want to talk to you about what we do. We are we're for companies that buy and pay. So those that make purchases, we can make purchase orders with suppliers, and then on the invoice side, we want to make sure we pay for exactly what we received and any goods that come into the company. In the center for us is a marketplace. We see that as a digital place where companies can interact and make transactions and make them fast, make it efficient, get the information you need, get status updates. That's what the marketplace is all about. So from the buy side, we take that device that everybody uses to get information, to make things happen, to make sure we contact people. We take that device and we give employees in the company access to the suppliers that the company has put together for that company. This is the pricing, the negotiated terms and conditions with your suppliers. So companies start with the right transaction and also can monitor those transactions as it goes through the course of going from supplier to buyer. On the pay side, we want to make sure, again, invoices are representative exactly of what people have ordered and what has actually been received. Now, we apply artificial intelligence there to make sure that humans don't have to do a lot of data entry, that they don't have to code for accounting. They don't have to do all that work. So we make sure that the system can do that work for them and automate those processes. We do that for companies big and small across the globe. And we're very proud of being in Japan already with Universal Studios Japan. At Universal Studios, they have employees with devices, with iPads, with phones, making purchases to make sure that they have the right parts for the rides, make sure they have the uniforms, food. Those are the things that they're buying and also making sure that they arrive on time. So that's what Vroozi is all about. We want to make sure there's control and visibility in all spend, that transactions are accurate, that we want to simplify things for people that want to buy but don't know all the procurement processes and procedures. We want to make sure that they're connected to other employees to make sure that things can be done quickly. Make sure we're connected to suppliers so we can keep track of the statuses of our orders. And also to make sure, again, that the transactions and documents are electronic. Things can go a lot quicker and smoother. We're going to allow you to take advantage of automation so humans don't have to do all the work all the time. And with all that, we're going to have data for you. So you're going to be able to have insights, real-time analytics, and make sure that we can do better the next time around. So that's what Vroozi is all about. So for companies that are buying and paying, we want to make sure that's simple and fast. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. The next company to present is Cognitive View. Cognitive View, please start your presentation.
Okay, can you see my screen? Good. Thank you everyone for this opportunity. My name is Dilip Mohapatra. I'm the founder and CEO of Cognitive View. So we are a RegTech that is focusing on compliance and conduct risk automation. So to give you a bit of a background, we are based in Australia and we had something called Royal Banking Commission to look into a widespread misconduct problem in the industry. So as a result of that, what we have seen is financial services, when they're dealing with customers, for example, in a contact center environment, when they're selling a new financial product or providing support to existing customers or managing claims, there is a lot of gaps in terms of how they need to treat the customer. For example, someone who is vulnerable needs extra care. Someone who is elderly, they need to be, provide the right advice. And also the customer complaint is an area that we have seen gone up significantly post-COVID. And because of COVID, we also see many companies are allowing staff to work remotely. So that is also a challenge if you are regulated and you're providing financial services advice. So it is essentially important to make sure that the conduct of the staff can be monitored where the compliance is a requirement. So as a solution, what we have built is a communication surveillance platform that can automate that compliance and risk. And also it provides a lot of predictive capability so that it can identify customer complaint early and prevent that ending up with the ombudsman body. And it also provides the workforce monitoring. So as a technology, we look into all channels like contact center, Genesis, collaboration channels like Microsoft Teams, email, chatbot, all unstructured data, including voice, video, and text. And we basically analyze all channels and provide a lot of analytics like customer experience, quality, and compliance output. So we have deployed this into contact center environment for a number of insurance customers and banks here, mostly focusing on significant cost reduction, meeting the compliance requirement. And you don't have to manually listen to the calls because the AI is pretty much automating that process and also reducing the complaint significantly. So we have been awarded many awards, including RegTech 100 globally for twice, and we have got the best conduct risk award for in the Asia Pacific, so RegTech is an area there is a lot of focus. In terms of opportunity, I think 75% of the conversation by 2025 is going to be monitored. So, and that's important from a risk standpoint if you're regulated. And people are now expanding emails to video and voice type of information from a compliance perspective. And we also see operational risk automation is an area there is a lot of opportunity because companies want to reduce the cost of operational risk. So we want to be the #1 in people risk management and help companies to automate the risk-based supervision as well as support a customer-centric culture. So that's my team based in Melbourne, Australia, and some in India as well. So we are a global team. And thank you for the opportunity again. If you guys find it interesting, happy to help out post-call. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dilip. The next company to present is CYBAVO. CYBAVO, please start your presentation.
All right, thank you. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so thank you. Hello, everybody, and thank you again for the opportunity. My name is Jordan Forsman. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at CYBAVO. CYBAVO, we are a cybersecurity company focused on securing digital assets on the blockchain. We have more than combined 100 years in cybersecurity, helping building some of the biggest cybersecurity companies in the world. And our team got together after helping a number of cryptocurrency exchanges respond to incidents where they had been compromised and tens or hundreds of millions of dollars worth of cryptocurrencies had been stolen. We did this many times, and eventually we decided the best way for us to help the industry would be to build a robust private key management infrastructure that is suitable for the enterprise. Basically, people today are familiar with the blockchain and understand that blockchain has gone mainstream. Today, we have trillions of dollars built on top of thousands of currencies and built on top of hundreds of chains. And at the core of this, ultimately, what few people understand is the cryptographic underpinnings, is that at the core of this new global economy is the private keys. And these private keys are under threat from various different actors, including hackers, scammers, rogue insiders, and even careless users who don't understand the private keys and how to secure them. So in 2021 alone, we saw more than $10 billion worth of cryptocurrencies and digital assets being stolen. And the problem is that existing solutions do not support enterprise operations effectively. Whether they're HSMs, custodians, hot wallets, or cold wallets, all of these solutions fundamentally bind the rights to use the private keys with the responsibility of keeping them secure. Which means that if you have the rights to use it, you have to keep it secure. If you have to keep it secure, you have the rights to use it. And this is problematic for the enterprise situation because in the enterprise situation, the organization owns the assets, not individuals. So who should be responsible for the private keys? In traditional finance, this is the organization's executive teams, the finance teams, or sometimes the legal teams. But these people have no cybersecurity knowledge or skills. And so typically they end up getting hacked, phished, scammed, or some way, shape, or form lose the private keys. And so none of the solutions available today give us a process-oriented approach to transaction authorization that we've become familiar with in traditional corporate banking interfaces. And that's why we built the CYBAVO Vault. It's a secure digital asset management platform that features granular policy enforcement as well as role-based access into the system. It's an institutional wallet that features a wealth of digital asset operations tools that help organizations integrate with and scale up on the blockchain effectively and securely. and we deploy it as a turnkey solution, either software as a service, cloud-based, or deployed on-premises in the customer's network. We've answered the main problem of how do you distribute the risk and responsibility of private key management. And we do this through what we call the distributed risk and responsibility model. We have 3 separate infrastructures that all need to work in coordination before we can initiate, approve, and execute a cryptocurrency or blockchain-based transaction. On the left-hand side, we have a secure mobile app that uses multi-factor authentication to bind the identity of an individual to the act of approving a transaction. And this gives the user the rights to use the private keys, but the private keys are not on the mobile phone themselves, so they are not responsible for keeping the private keys secure. The private keys sit on a safe, secure key store component that is responsible for setting up the individual wallet instances, as well as defining the policies that govern those wallet instances. This component is responsible for keeping the private keys secure. And then we have a third component, which is a
Thank you,
cloud-based security.
Jordan. Please finish your sentence here.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
The next company to present is Wallet Engine. Wallet Engine, please start your presentation.
Yes, hello, can you hear me? This is Pascal speaking.
Yes.
Okay, great. Let me just quickly share my screen. Awesome. Can you quickly confirm if you can see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Then without further ado, I would start. Hello, everyone. My name is Pascal, and I am the CGO of Wallet Engine. We are a Singapore-based fintech aiming to bring embedded finance to life for cross-border apps. I want to start with a little bit of a market primer, because throughout the last years, and especially with COVID raging, consumption of digital content has skyrocketed in some areas by over 200%, looking, for instance, at Twitch. What we see now is that these apps start to embed financial services into their user journeys. Twitter, on the other hand, they announced a tipping feature enabling users to reward content creators in the US, while YouTube added a thanks button that lets viewers seamlessly tip video creators, and even Clubhouse, a relatively young business, started working on their tipping features. However, embedding these financial services are a tedious task, and current payment companies are unable to accommodate really for these needs of the content apps. So we at Wallet Engine discovered 3 key problems that exist with current payment companies. First, payment gates have not been simply designed for P2P payments, but for e-commerce, which doesn't really help if you want to send $1 to another creator. Second of all, remittance companies don't cater for small value payments. So if you think, for instance, about a TransferWise, sending $1 could already set you back or cost you actually a 50% transaction fee, as in this example showcased. And lastly, existing wallets lack interoperability. For instance, I cannot send money from my Venmo wallet to an over wallet in India. And this is basically where Wallet Engine comes in. We developed and connected the necessary technologies so that any app can launch their own white-labeled in-app wallets for their users in under 30 days. No need for huge investments into licensing, compliance, and tech development. It's all been taken care of by us. With Wallet Engine, peer-to-peer payments become seamless, even if the user wants to send $1 to a creator abroad. Transactions are free and instant. The design is fully up to the app. We deliver the capabilities for them to launch their own wallets, really. Everything from hosted accounts to top-up channels, withdrawal channels, and the actual payments between people is handled through us. In addition, we maintain a strong partnership with CYBAVO Pte, which is a marketplace that can bring additional financial products into any wallet. We're talking here about insurances and microloans, for instance. CYBAVO Pte is hosted on Avalanche blockchain, which is one of the very, very successful and emerging blockchains out there right now. We have also built a strong sales funnel at the moment, and apps have reached out to us from several industries, and prospects have reached now over 80 million monthly active users. Our team has over 30 years of experience in the payments industry. And when it comes, for instance, to our CEO, Gregor, he's been building fintech apps since 2014. And Barry, on the other hand side, he launched the first wallets in Ireland for a large telecommunications provider and scaled it up to 3.5 million accounts. When it comes to our fundraising situation, we have so far raised $1.4 million in seed, an additional $1 million through a strategic partner, Verso, and now raising another $1 million, where SOSV, Sean O'Sullivan Ventures, is currently the lead investors. Would be very happy to chat sometime. We are currently looking to expand to Tokyo towards the end of Q2 and looking for new customers to onboard. Feel free to reach out to me over LinkedIn or email. Happy to chat. Thanks.
Thank you, Pascal. As the next 5 companies will give their presentations in Japanese, the moderator will speak in Japanese from now on. ここからは国内企業によるプレゼンテーション。
We are going to have a Japanese MC because we are going to have presenters in Japanese. Next, Omochi.
Thank you very much. My name is Alein. Now I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen now? Yes. Okay. My name is Alein. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So the service used to be called the AI Credit, but we changed the name to Omochi because AI Credit, and this may give the impression that the other people may concern the credit card information may be stolen. So we decided to call it Omochi because we often hear that do you have point card? That means Omochi. So the point is to give values, but getting the value is a fun and make your shopping fun. That's the concept. So for the challenges facing consumers, at many different stores, they don't know which payment method is valuable, is better for them. So this is the formula of getting the value, and this is what we are trying to offer as service. So which cashless payment is bringing you more value? If you know it immediately, that will be good. So this is what we are providing as solution. And you can see the ranking, which company, which payment you get more points. And you can narrow down in terms of type of stores, and also you can view the calendar to see until when you can get more value, and also you can see when the campaign will be finished. The more application you use, the more points you can get, like points that are specific to Omochi. For example, if you open up apps 3 times the week, you get some points through Rakuten. So do you have Omochis? So I hope you can use it, our service. So consumers use the apps and they can see what kind of payment method they can use on the map. And then this will eventually navigate consumers to the stores. So through this program, and people can get the points as service, and we try to get the better point system. And lastly, this is the influencer and CEO and developer of this company, and already act as influencer. And also we have other members with some experience in IPO as well. And myself has a background of apps. So going forward, we will try to raise more funds, and we hope we can get more opportunity to make presentation. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next presentation will be done by ABCash Technologies. Thank you.
This is Kodama from ABCash. I'd like to start my presentation. I'll share the screen. So I'll start my presentation. Financial wellness is drawing more attention because of SDGs. For high school students, they are going to start the financial education in April, but we didn't receive any financial education. When you compare US and Japan, there are many. There's a big difference in terms of focus of financial wellness. In Japan, it's difficult to get consultation for money. You go to a seminar, and they try to solicit financial products. We never sell financial products. We provide financial literacy. This is part of the wellness companies, and we have more than 10,000 company members. So we personalize information based on AI, and we are completely neutral. And we use the data of more than 10,000 people. So we use analytics, AI analytics. So the steps for financial education is recommended. And we already have lots of Q&A accumulated. So you can select one of them which suit your needs. And we have short videos for you to learn about financial. We have more than 100 short videos. Also, we have some money experts, and you can directly talk to them about consultation, and you can get the neutral answers from those money experts. We want to personalize our services further. It's been 4 years since we established our company. I'm not from the financial agents. I'm from the internet company. I think that makes my company unique. So we completed Series B already. And Laura is a brand ambassador, and we want to update the contents. And we are promoting SDGs for quality education. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much, ABCash Technologies. Let's move on to SORAMITSU.
Good afternoon. My name is Miyazawa from SORAMITSU. I'm going to share my screen. I hope you see my screen. Yes. So let me start. The digital currency for the first time in the world for Cambodia Central Bank. And first, about our company, the mission is to innovate the industries and solve social issues with blockchain technology. It's been 6 years, and the company has 120 employees. We have 7 subsidiaries around the world, including Japan. And the blockchain we developed, one of them is Iroha, which is the Linux Foundation has introduced it. It's been the global standard, industry standard correction. And we have done the test for security and stability. In many countries and many companies have adopted that technology, and roughly divided into 6: digital currency and digital ID, including my number card association, and insurance, security, supply chain, metaverse, and international organization. The first on Cambodia Central Bank, 2020, October 20th, was formally launched. And it's been 1 year, a little more. Already, half of the people there have used it for transferring money. And this is from Nikkei newspaper article, and we have awarded the best award in Nikkei Award for Service in 2021, and also we awarded for financial innovation in Japan. For Laos Central Bank, this is something that, as a part of ODA of the Japanese government, working together with JICA, entered into the contract. And currently, they have started study for introduction of CBDC. Likewise, for Japanese government, last year in the Pacific in the Island Summit last year, and the promise to cooperate in terms of financial infrastructure, and the Fiji, Tonga, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, and they have already started the study for CBDC. And Asia Development Bank, for this, SORAMITSU, Fujitsu, R3 consensus work together. They started demonstration tests for security settlement among banks in Japan, and Wakamatsu University for the first time introduced digital regional currency, working together with local companies and also ITC centers. So these are the activities that we have taken and was appreciated. So by the cabinet presidential office, Prime Minister's office, we were recognized for digital ID and getting the My Number card information by using smartphone. And this is what we have done. And actually in Osaka, starting from April, we have to finish your presentation. Okay, that's it from us. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you. Next, we would like to have a presentation from Scheeme Inc. So you can start once you are ready.
Do you see the screen? Yes. Okay. I'd like to start the presentation from Scheeme. This is Senbei from Scheeme. Nice to meet you. I was in an accounting firm, and I help companies start up their business or financing. I help 160 companies for fundraising, and they had a problem with fundraising, and I was exposed to that environment. So we offered Scheeme, which is a cloud service to help companies manage their fundraising and fund as a whole. They can prepare fundraising easily, and they can also use the application to apply for a fund. You can create business plans in the application, and it depends on fundraising methods. The application forms can be automatically generated. However, the formats, it's very difficult to cover all the formats of documents for each government for fundraising. So we developed no-code format. By having this no-code format, we had to make a request to engineers, and we had to create document one by one. But the customer support team can easily create new formats. So it required 120 hours before, but we could reduce the cost by 80%. And then we can create formats for each local governments. By doing this, we can support companies' fundraising or start of the businesses. And we want to also provide this function to financial institutions and tax accountant offices as OEM. That concludes my presentation from Scheeme. Thank you very much. Next, Yap.
よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you. Can you see my screen? Thank you. So this is the presentation from Yap. So applying AI for a billing service, and this is the service that we are offering. The issue with the invoice-related work, the format differ from supplier to supplier, and because of this, people working in finance has more difficulty in terms of data entry. And because of this, the work tend to be labor-intensive, as there are so time-consuming. So we come up with an idea applying AI in this work and automating this process so that the work in this area will be streamlined more, so that the company and finance section will enjoy high productivity. This is the products on the right hand side. We upload the bill and drag and drop, and AROCR is used, and so you can see the data on the right hand side with the accuracy of 99.9%. And next, for the reservation for payment, and lastly, we determine or we committed the payment reservation. This is very simple, and you can complete the work for billing. So more information on use case. So previously, people working in the finance section need to enter the data, so much data, and there were so many work. By using our service, the work can be streamlined dramatically. You can just register the invoice and work on some checking and submit. So the issue was, there were so many different formats that this can be resolved, and also streamlining the work for finance, and also promoting paperless trend. And this is the voice from customer. They saw the significant improvement in the efficiency of the work, and it's not just the speed, but they enjoyed highly streamlined work. But the concern was that the cost may be higher, but that's not the case. Monthly fee from 10,000 a month up to 220 invoices. There's no additional cost and no initial cost. And our strength is, so all the engineers working in our company developed the solution. We don't outsource the development at all. So this is the feasibility. We completed the development of beta version, and we will work on to the release in the spring for the official version. And we are trying to coordinating with the mega bank and internet banks for system interface. And the third point is we are offering advantageous plan for companies in Tokyo. And this is a short-term vision, and becoming the platform in B2B settlement, not just invoice, but also not just salary, not just receipt. And we want to offer comprehensive service covering all of them. This is more mid and long term. We would like to show more presence. We'd like to help small companies in Tokyo to be active in the world through B2B settlement solution. That's it. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much. From now, we will have presentation in English, or we will switch.
In English. The next company to present is Zelf. Zelf, please start your presentation. Elliot from Zelf, are you ready to present? Elio, are you muted?
Well, can you hear me? Did you
Yes,
say
I can
that
hear.
it's my presentation now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for inviting me to the event. I want to congratulate all the winners and thank the Metropolitan area of Tokyo and EY for making this event. We are Zelf. We are a platform of banking and messengers. We're money. We're in messengers where people chat and play. Currently, we already have 450,000 cardholders and over 1 million registered users all over the world. We support all the major messengers: Facebook, WhatsApp, Viber, Telegram, Line, WeChat, and Discord. And these are the messengers where people spend majority of their screen time talking to their family, to their friends. And because of that, we wanted to bring the banking and the finances because that's what people also discuss with their friends and their loved ones. The key advantages of our platform is that we are, as the sort of the keynote of this event was, green and digital. We don't have plastic cards. We don't have mobile apps. And we don't have KYC process to begin the relationship with the bank. You don't have to download an app to be a customer of Zelf because you already use an app that is installed on your phone. You don't have to wait for delivery of a plastic card because you use a virtual debit card issued to you. And because of that, since that card is a prepaid, you don't have to do KYC right away. You do it at a later point. Because of the key aspects of green and digital, we were able to reduce our customer acquisition cost to below $1, which is 40 to 50 times below our competition. And what we're planning to do to enter the Japanese and the global market is we're planning to power the play to earn revolution in various games and NFT trade. Through Zelf, via its connection to Discord, we're able to allow Zelf customers to exchange game loot for real money, to exchange crypto and NFTs. We are disrupting a 20 billion market. We're making it fair and safe for the players, and we're adding additional revenue for the gaming companies. We are deriving revenue from three avenues, which is financial on debit card interchange, the pay top-ups, the lifestyle, allowing the exchange of goods, and powering various subscription accounts. Right now is the perfect time to start this type of business because everybody has gone cashless and contactless because of the coronavirus and because of the new API from Facebook, WhatsApp, and Discord. So the reason why we wanted to enter Japanese market is because we feel that Japan is still heavily dependent on cash, and that's why we wanted to introduce ourselves at this event. Thank you very much for having us, and have a great day.
Thank you very much for your presentation. The next company to present is TechRules. TechRules, please start your presentation. Javier from TechRules, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Great.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Javier Cabralo, and I'm the Business Development Manager at TechRules. So what is TechRules? Well, in a nutshell, we develop and deliver wealth management solutions. We tend to say that we are one of the leading companies in the digital revolution of wealth management. So I guess we all agree that this industry is experiencing a major transformation process, and we're definitely part of it. So we are a fintech company. We are a fintech company, but a B2B player, but we're not a startup because we've been in the business since 1999, 20 years in the market. So what do we do? Well, helping companies to go digital, companies like private banks, retail and personal banking, and investment companies. We have a special focus on 3 areas. First of all, we try to minimize the time devoted to admin or repetitive tasks. For example, if you want to see a client and you want to prepare a nice looking portfolio report, if you do it manually or with Excel, it might take you a couple of hours. If you do it with our tools, it's only 2 minutes. Second area, client acquisition and how to accelerate this process. From our tools, you can launch marketing campaigns, you can do client segmentation, or you can even set up a robo-advisor. A white label robo-advisor without tools is only a question of 3 months to go up and running. And the third area is increase the share of wallet. So what about services you can sell across your customer base? I give you an example, an insurance company that sells traditional insurance products. So why not start selling investment funds? So we can help with this transition process by providing tools and providing consultancy. With our tools, well, it's a multi-channel, multi-entity, multi-asset, multi-device software platform. We can provide advisory solutions or discretionary solutions. And our tools will be fully integrated with your core system, and TechRules will take care of the integration process. We look at into the detail of the various modules available within the tool. You can see lead generation module, business intelligence, strategies and model portfolios, investment proposals, portfolio management, a whole set of modules of discretionary and advisory tools available for the advisor and also available for the clients. It's easy to use, fully modular. Of course, compliance is definitely a priority for us. And we try to provide different interfaces depending on the type of situation, or perhaps an API version of the platform to be used. We have a large number of customers across the globe, mainly Latin America and Europe, but very important names like JP Morgan or DNB, which is the largest bank in Norway, Nutmeg in the UK, Scotiabank, Santander, and so on. If you want to know more and you want references and business cases of these clients from TechRules, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to help. I think this is it. Anything that you need from us, I'll be more than happy to help. You can contact us at techrules.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The final company to present is Alein Pay. Alein Pay, please start your presentation.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations with the ceremony. Alein Pay is a Web3 business-to-business payments services, and we are tackling liberating companies from bad risk premium with real-time automatic data-rich payments. And what does it mean? It means that we're tackling cash flow waiting time as a de facto in many businesses. We're tackling time value of money, income written off because of bad risk in business opportunities, and lost income due to bankruptcies and bad business behavior. Now, how does it work in the old system? Today, if you want to pay for something, you use your card, physical or virtual, pay into a terminal, and there a payment processor will clear the transaction, then connect with the legacy system, send a settlement to the merchant, and charge you for the bill up to 30 days later. So what we do is that we move completely out of the equation the middleman. With smart contracts in our system, you pay into an Android device instead of a terminal, and we route the amounts immediately, account to the person who's getting paid. So in that way, we're completely disrupting the system of payment to merchants. So who does this benefit the most? It benefits the most product producers and service providers who can get paid in real time, especially if you're used to selling in consignment sale. This is going to change completely what how life has been before for you. We're shifting power over to fairness, we think, and instead of charging transaction fees, we offer better service using the data from the payment system to make business loans more transparent, automated, and less risky. So, thank you.
Thank you, Ingi. So this was the final presentation for today. So thank you for all the companies who gave us very informative and insightful presentations. From now on, the moderator will speak in Japanese.
以上で13社のプレゼン
Now we conclude all the 13 presentations. I'd like to repeat myself for the contact application. Please scan the QR code on the screen, or in the chat, you can also see the URL of the companies. Also, you can download the documents of each company through this QR code. You also see the URL in the chat box. Also, from the official Financial Tokyo website, you can see the same information. Thank you very much for attending our ceremony. That concludes the Tokyo Financial Award 2021. Thank you very much for your attention.